Not sure if we'll get too many people in here tonight. I know Brutal's doing his thing. Oh, let me turn the volume off on this. There you go. All right, we'll hang out for a minute, see if we can get a couple people in here. See the car all torn apart behind us. Didn't we just finish putting stuff on this? Guys, the audio sound okay? David Willis, what's up, man? How's the car running? Did you get it back running yet? Robert, what's up, man? I saw you in Brutal's chat. I was just in there, or his live stream. I was just in there before. Oh, just kick the table. What I'm going to try and do is I got the screen share thing. I'm going to try and if anybody has, whenever people come in, like Terminator X questions, I can actually share. I have it pulled up here. Well, whenever I go to do it. And then we can, we could go through some Terminator X stuff. Oh, what is going on here? Okay, there we go. My bad. Pip Tyson, what's going on, man? Good to see you guys. My computer's like slowly starting because I move it out in the garage to do these. So like I got stuff popping up left and right. David will haven't even touched it, man. I know that feeling. Sometimes you just put these things on the back burner, stuff gets busy. I wish I could say the same, but we just finished putting the injectors in it, and then we just tore it apart again today. But luckily, nothing big. I've got my new carpet laying out, trying to get it ready to install. Yeah, you gotta let that stuff lay out in the sun for a little while. I had the carpet for this just folded up in the other garage over there, and I had to lay it out for a good 3-4 hours just to let it the sun soak it up and soften it up. What color carpet you got for it? I wonder what I'm trying to do though is I wonder if I can just share the whole. Okay, yeah, I can. So sweet. So if somebody does ask something, I could just share the whole Terminator X screen. I wonder if I can just do like. Sorry guys, I'm learning this as I go. Do you know how I can make it so it's like? So basically, I want this bigger. Is it this one right here?
I don't know. Might be
No, we'll figure it out. Donnie B, what's up, brother? So those new injectors I got, they're not dialed in yet. I was starting to do it, and then we sprung an exhaust leak. Plus I think we killed a spark plug too. One of them looked pretty. I was messing with the tune actually, and when I tune it, I shut all of the the learn and everything off, closed loop, and then I try and tune it, au natural basically. But when I clicked it off, it spiked lean. I mean, just at idle, but I killed a spark plug there. So we're just fixing the exhaust leak. But the injectors, I mean, it actually runs a lot smoother just based off of, the little bit that we had it running on closed loop. The throttle's a lot snappier too. I don't know if that's because it's an EV6 injector as opposed to the old school like EV1s, but I'm anxious to get them out there and, do like a wide open throttle pull seat. And I mean, 100 pound an hour, I'm pretty sure I could run this thing as much boost as it'll take before blowing. That too, and with the new intake, the like I noticed tuning the base table, the volumetric efficiency it needs a lot more. I'm assuming that flows a lot better even just at idle. So I've had to throw a lot more fuel in it. Yeah, but I have an Explorer. I bought, and it peaked the fuel pump. Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, I think I remember you say. Oh yeah, you said that on my Instagram story. Yeah, no worries. I mean, you were the first one to mention about that upper intake, so it was yours until you said that. Another guy jumped right on it, so it still went pretty quick. I still got the 60-pound injectors. If somebody needs 60-pound injectors, those are for sale. I won a new carpet on Brutal's. Awesome, dude. He's got some awesome giveaways. You know who had some great giveaways too? Paul the Fox. I was on his channel yesterday on his live stream. He just hit 1,000 subscribers, which is awesome. Congrats to him. But he was giving away some pretty cool stuff on his chat yesterday, or his live stream. Those injectors are in the software and the drop. So Donnie B, yeah, they're on here. I'll show you really quick, actually. So the V2 software, there's a few versions of it, right? So there's the 50 and the 70. It took me a while to get the 70 set up, but these injectors are actually in here on the version 70. They're right here. So if you pull up this drop down on the old version, it says Sniper, and it has these same pound and hours, but they're different part numbers. So these Terminator X injectors I guess they're brand new from Holley. So yeah, these are the ones I got right here. And that's all I had to do was just click on that. And then, I mean, as soon as I clicked on that and had my software updated, this thing fired right off, once I got the, fuel system primed up and everything. But yeah, that's kind of why, I've been looking at high impedance injectors. I know I was talking to Neo about, some Bosch 160-pound injectors and stuff like that. But the price for these, I mean, $350. The only difference is they have to run at 60 PSI, which I have enough fuel pump. Pretty sure I have enough fuel pump to run them at 60 PSI. But yeah, I mean, so far so good. And then the adapters, you need the spacer plus that wiring harness adapter to plug it up or to hook it up. I'm looking at a set of 32-pound. Robert, what was your setup again on your car? I mean, yeah, NA. One of the guy who bought the upper intake, he was inquiring about my 60 pounds, but he's doing a 331 NA build. So yeah, a 36-pound, 36-pound, even probably a 24-pound with the pressure output. I'm still in the 70, or no, yeah, the 70. I'm still in the 50. Yeah, Donnie B, the 50. It was weird that I'm actually going to do a video on how to find the and I'll actually show you really quick. I'm on the wrong screen really quick. But to do the firmware 70 on the Terminator X, it's weird because when you download the card contents and everything and then put the SD card in the car or in the computer, it puts the 50 on the card, and then when you download the software, the V2 software, it basically puts the 50 and 70 on your desktop. So I had to go through my desktop and find the software or the firmware for 70 to actually put on my SD card to then load back into the car. I spent an hour. John can tell you how pleasant was I yesterday trying to figure that out.
Oh, it was very calm. Very calm.
Very calm.
Yeah,
was it like when, what's that meme? Your son holding the flashlight for the dad while he's working on it. That was pretty much what was going on yesterday. But here, I'll actually pull it up really quick. Let me see. What's your fuel pump? I have a cheap as you can get Amazon. I believe it's a 380 liter per hour. And I've yet to lose pressure as far as I've lost injector, which is why the pressure went down. But I think it's more than enough fuel pump to run what we're trying to do. Did you get the hat and adapters from Holley also? No, I linked them in the last video. I got them from Summit Racing. It was actually I got a box right here. So the adapters that I got, it was Fast Technology. Part number right there. The glare. Let me see.
What if you just put the part number in the comment?
Yeah, I guess I can do that too. Genius. That's why you're here, John. It's 17064-8. And then I got billet ICT spacers. Oh yeah, but let me show you the firmware really quick. So the way that they actually do it is it's on the you have to go into now I'm in the netherworld here. So yeah, it's like in the holley folder. You have to go in the holley folder on your desktop, go in here, and then see there's 50 right here. This is the old version, but when I downloaded the new one, it puts 70 on your desktop. So you have to drag the 70 from here onto your actual SD card. And then when you update your firmware on the handheld, that's when it'll update your ECU or the firmware and the ECU to 70 to match your Terminator X, V2 software. I feel like there's an easier way. Holley should definitely have an easier way to do that. I've got a dry nitrous kit, but I'm looking for some 32-pound injectors. Yeah, I mean, I think even depending on how big of a shot you're trying to go with, especially a dry shot, 32 pounds, you should be okay. Would 60-pound injectors be too small for a 408 Windsor? I'd say naturally aspirated, probably not. Definitely not, I don't think. You'd probably... Actually, I think that'd be a good fit for a 408. If you're trying to do nitrous or anything that on top, I'd probably go bigger, at least an 80. That's just me, though. I honestly don't know. That's just me guessing. Things lightning back there? Nice. You got a free fireworks show. I got the same adapters for my 24-pound injectors. Nice. Yeah, and I had my 2015 Mustang. I was actually, when I was looking at these injectors, I was like, man, I don't have the, I don't have those adapters on the wiring harness. And I'm like, maybe I can splice them in. And then I remembered, because I had a Paxton supercharger on my S550. I was like, oh, wait, I had the adapters for that. And I don't know if it was like an EV6 to an EV14 or maybe vice versa. So, I looked online and they were right there. They were relatively cheap. The adapters were $80 and then the spacers were like 30. So all in all, still less than, maybe $500 for 100-pound injectors, which I'd rather pay that than the Bosch 160s. Even like I was looking at Fuel Injector Clinic 1000s, they were like a grand. So we saved some money there, a lot. John Doe, what's up, man? Hey, did Brutal show you that camper? You were trying hard to get him to see it. I left before then. We actually had a camper. We had a nice camper, 32-foot. Where I live, we get wind like no other, and we actually had a tornado. A tornado ripped through our backyard. It tore the neighbor's like overhang off of his the like back part of his house off, and it threw our camper like 150 feet into the field next to our house. Gonna keep the turbo. Okay, so yeah, if you're doing turbo 408 now, 60 is way too small. I would go 160s, 120s, 160s. I would feel safer at 160 though. Even maybe a 210 for a 408. Also depends on your boost level too. That's what I thought 32 would work well. Yeah, I think it would. I think 32 would work really well with that. You ever get did your Terminator X ever come in, Robert? Little brother, that's little son. That's my son. Oh, I think he's just calling you little brother. Like Hulk Hogan calls everyone brother. EV6 to EV1. Yep, that's what I had for these, EV6 to EV1. Brandon Christopherson, what's up, man? Welcome to the channel, live stream, whatever this thing is. This is kind of just a spur of the moment. I just Me and John were on the way back from Chick-fil-A. I was like, "Do you want to go live?" And he was like, "Yeah, okay." Which, by the way, this kid, since I got him, he has like 20 different Mustang shirts, and I mean, I've had you for what, about 2 weeks so far now.
Yeah.
Mustang shirt every day, gotta love it. Apple does not fall far. 60s are pretty topped out around 600, 630 wheel. Yeah, insane high duty cycle at the top end. Yes, and that's what I don't think I was at 600 wheel. Granted, I don't know, but yeah, I touched 101% duty cycle at 12.9 pounds of boost, so 13 pounds of boost, and I wasn't going to push it. So that's why I was actually just going to keep the boost around 10, 11 pounds, and then just start tweaking air fuel ratios and timing because it is so conservative. But luckily I came across these, and now we can turn it up. Not yet. Dang, man. I hope that Terminator X comes in soon. I know like everything in the world is back ordered right now, but I remember you telling me about your car being flooded and stuff. So I hope you get that thing back soon. Got me a new channel. Nice. Thank you, my man. You guys are solid. We appreciate that. Love the car, bro. Thanks. It's always a work in progress. He looks like you. Yeah. If you're curious what I looked like when I was 13, that's what I looked like pretty much. So this is what you're going to look like when you're older. Sorry. What's up, young buck? Saying what's up. It's his first time, so he don't know what to say. You got to hit him with some actual questions that he can answer. He'll talk. He knows his way around a wrench, though. I'll say that. Ever since he's been 10, actually younger than that, he's been into cars. I've always had some sort of a. You probably don't remember. I had an '89.
The gray one.
Yeah, you do remember. And I think you were 3 or 4 years old that time.
It had the red interior.
Yep, red interior. Vortex supercharger. Actually, a local guy has it. I think he only lives maybe an hour and a half away. Teaching him to drive stick shift. I mean, yeah, what was the first thing? What kind of car you want what kind of car do you want when you get your license? You've told me 100 times. Mustang.
Yeah.
So yeah, he wants a stick Mustang.
Any Mustang that I am able to afford.
Yeah. Well, so the problem, he's going to be like me, right? I had a Mustang when I shouldn't have had a Mustang, and the first thing I did was like, I got to rip apart the engine, throw a B cam in it, go fast, and then it was like, how do I get to work now? Because my car is torn apart and I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, luckily, you at least have me and I have a trailer, but so we'll get you A to B car, but we'll get you a project when you're older. Don't worry. Teaching him how to drive stick. Okay, yeah, we just did that. Yeah, he wants a stick car, so I think it'll be easy. He picks things up very quickly, much quicker than I. I'll try not to brag about him too much and make his head too big, but he definitely picks things up much quicker than I do. So he by the time he drives, he'll probably already know how to drive stick. Boost Dreamer, what's up, man? Glad you stopped in. Young buck, listen to your man. Listen to your old man. That's what it should say, your old man. All right, so what's your first plan on the 454? John, what are we doing with the 454? That's your build, so you need to speak up and tell them what is going on with the 454 right now. What's the state of it?
So right now, I believe yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday so you dropped off yesterday? Or
Yeah, I dropped it off yesterday.
Yeah, so yesterday we dropped off the crankshaft to get it balanced.
And so yesterday I dropped the crankshaft off. We had to get new rods, new pistons because it got bored No, yeah, bored 30 over. I just got new rods. Just because, and they were cheap. New rings, new everything really, and I mean all super budget friendly, cost effective. He's been itching to get that thing going. We did film on it a little bit. I could probably make a video out of what we did the other day, but I think when we get the crankshaft back, that'll be a little better to do a little more work before we put the video out. But he's done everything on that. All we really did was check the crankshaft tolerances. He couldn't squeak out the main bolt, the main cap bolt torque. So he's got about 103 foot-pounds in his arm. I had to give him the extra 7 foot-pounds to get that 110. But we'll get him there. We'll have him lifting some weights before it's time to torque him down. But the plan as far as the 454, we're just going to rebuild it. We really didn't have anything too crazy. I got an RV cam for it. And then we got a set of valve springs. That's really it. Yeah, I'm worried if Holley is going to make their 7/23 date for shipping. Their backlog is insane right now. And Donnie B, what's crazy was, and I was talking to Boost Streamer about this before, I swear they shipped these injectors on a bolt of lightning. I ordered those things, and I think it was like a Sunday night or something. And I was like, these things ain't going to get here for, a week or so, which is cool. And they showed up by like Tuesday morning. And I was like, this has never happened from Holley. So they had those things ready to go. But I know like a lot of guys, I know Boost Streamers waiting for like a CAN bus splitter and some other stuff. They're really backed up. He needs a 91 notchback. What do you think about that? I had a 91 notchback. You remember the red one?
I don't remember the red one.
With the 2 white stripes on the back? The trunk lid had 2 white stripes.
I think I remember pictures of it.
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
That was a 91 notchback. I sold that car for like $3,800. Could probably get 10 grand for it now. I want to hear clean everything, and he's still talking about the 454 maybe. Listen to your bro. You're my bro. GSF 420X. What's up, man? Camaro get fixed up. Harrison. Yeah, so the Camaro got fixed. What did I do? Was it a belt the belt tensioner for the supercharger was broken. So, I mean, it was a relatively straightforward fix. Then I fixed it and sent it back for the guy, and apparently he's selling it. Someone actually said in the comments, like, yeah, I just saw that thing on Facebook Marketplace, to get sold. I was like, really? I mean, he's asking too much for it. He wants like 55 or 60 grand for it, and that ain't ever going to happen, I don't think. But that's pretty unfortunate. But whatever, it's his car. I was glad to have it around for a couple of days, but I'm cool with not having it. It was fun while it lasted, but it was cool. No disrespect. Oh, none taken. None at all. What's up, dude? You can come over here. You got a shirt on. My other son popped out. He's usually walking around with no clothes on practically because he's too hot for him down here.
Mary.
I actually have two CAN bus splitters left in stock. Donnie B, I'm gonna need one of those. So I'll have to get with you because I need to buy one because I broke the clip for my cable, my USB cable. So I have to like get a screwdriver in there and wedge it. So I need to get that CAN bus splitter. So if you got two of them, I will definitely buy one from you. Here you go, John. Question for your son. What part are you most excited about when it comes to building the C10 engine?
Talking to the mic. I'm most excited for putting the pistons in because I've always wondered if it's as hard as it to me looks on like videos and stuff. So that's what I'm most excited about.
Yeah. Are you nervous about smacking the piston with a hammer to knock it in?
Yeah, in my head, I'm expecting myself to miss and like hit something else.
Wait, I know.
We're gonna use
this one. We use this one, right?
No, don't you use the mallet?
Yeah, the rubber one. That was a good question. Good question. Yeah, and to be honest, like I get nervous doing that too. Like knocking the piston, I'm always like, I hope I don't break the dang rings. Which has happened when I was a diesel mechanic. I broke some oil control rings. I was building a 871 Detroit diesel, 2-stroke diesel engine, and it was late at work. I was knocking the pistons in, and then this thing. Granted, they're oil pigs anyway, but this one was exceptionally blowing so much oil, and I yanked it back apart because I built it, and it was going into it was a generator on a tugboat. They were like, man, this thing blows so much oil. It's ridiculous. And it was going out the exhaust. And sure enough, that's what it was. Boost Dreamer says, John, enjoy having your dad's knowledge. Learn as much as you can and have fun building that truck. He's got an S10, actually. He's selling an S10. We've been watching a lot of, or I got him into watching Billy the Kid, SR or Street Race channel. So, there's a dude with a really nice S10. He street drives it, but
didn't we just see that Food Line yesterday?
Yeah.
Was it yesterday?
Yep. But yeah, now every time we pass one, he's like C10 or S10, and now he's pointing him out. That's S10. That's a C10. Pretty soon he'll be telling me the years. Awesome car though. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. You got a storm going. Yeah, free fireworks show for you guys. I don't have giveaways like Brutal, but you guys can get some of this Southern heat lightning going on. You're welcome. Donnie B, I'll get one too. Yeah, I know Boost Streamer's waiting on one, so he can have one before me if you only end up getting one left. Funky 50, what's up, brother? Oh, you're going live too? Why don't you want to come in here? Or is there a way to, I don't know how to do all that stuff.
Think there's a way to invite him.
I know I can invite him, but I mean for his channel.
There should be a way to make it go on both.
Donnie B says, you got it. I now have one CAN bus splitter in stock. Well, if Boost Streamer's getting that other one, Donnie B, you should be sold out. What's up with the S10? We have a C10. We just like the S10 trucks. We actually had, growing up, my mom had an S10 Blazer, which I really liked. What you doing back there, Joe? Just creeping?
Yeah.
Joe's not as into cars. We play sports with him. He's the baseball player. This kid is a cannon for a little kid. But he comes out. You helped me on the LS engine, actually.
I did.
Yeah, I got a picture with you. Yeah, you were little then. John was 10, so you were what, 6?
No.
6 or 7? 8? Oh, geez, how old are you? Billy the Kid is fast. Yeah, and his truck is insanely fast. They're actually, I hope they're coming down here. Dig or Die is coming down to Rockingham on the 23rd. I'm going to go. Not with this, just to watch. By the way, we're going to Dig or Die just to watch. But yeah, I hope Billy the Kid comes down. I know Turbo John will most likely be there, and he's well worth the trip alone to watch his car. But plus, he's a solid dude. Yeah, just go together. I love to see that. Okay, yeah, Donnie B, contact him on IG, OMG_5.0. I had a badass 86 S10 Blazer. Nice. I think that's, no, my mom had an 88, and it was like a cream color, like a tannish cream color. But yeah, that was like the truck that I grew up in, basically. And yeah, we loved that truck. I remember going down the shore and all that stuff. It's nice you can tinker around cars with your kids. I can't wait till my son is old enough. Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I think the most exciting thing for me, or the best thing about, was when. Do you remember the first time you fired up that Camaro? It was in the rain. We lived at the other house. The red F body.
Yeah.
So he
I remember that.
So he helped me little bit here and there. He was only 10 years old. So I remember he did like lifters, the cam. He did some stuff on that F-body LS build. And then I remember like I told him, I was like, hey, it's ready to fire up, sit in the seat. And he turned the key and it fired off. And the look on his face was like, it was just worth it right there. There's a video of it on my channel somewhere. Yeah, you can probably find it and dump it in the chat. But yeah, that was kind of really cool to me. And the fact that like, Joe helped. This is my other son, Joe. He helped on that one as well. So granted, I did like the bulk of everything, but to have them kind of have their hand in it and then it fired up. And that engine ran great, actually. Are they they're both my son. I have 6 total kids. This is 2 of them. Turbo John is funny. So yeah, I love Turbo John. I actually met him at Galat Motorsports Park one time. His car was right next to mine, and he's like the nicest dude in drag racing too. Like he does not want any cheap wins. He just wants to go race and have fun. And to me, that's the coolest thing ever. And the fact that he literally like lives down the road, and not down the road, but an hour away or so, and we race at the same tracks. I mean, it's pretty awesome. Question for John. Boom. Dude, you get all the questions. They don't want to talk to me. They want to talk to you. All right, what you got? Where do you see your truck? Okay, the C10. Where do you see that truck 5 years from now, meaning overall goals? So, you got probably move
hopefully with me.
So it's his older brother's truck we're building, but say it was yours, right? It's your truck. What would you, right? You got this. Hey, here's a C10 with a 454. What would you want to do to it, else after you build it?
Probably a beefier cam, and
my dude.
And then I don't know.
We can just stop there. I mean, beefy cam.
And then maybe a turbo.
This kid sent me. Do you remember you sent me lawnmower turbos? Yeah. Like, can we put this on the lawnmower? Yes. No, we didn't do that. Mine was black and would pull the wheels. Oh, wow. Your S10? I was ecstatic that this thing pulled the wheels. They came up maybe that much on one pass. I think maybe that much. Just the left one. I need an anti-roll bar. The driver's side wheel comes up pretty easy. Okay. 3 Boys Break says, what harmonic balance, or do you have your small block Ford? Well, okay. What harmonic balancer do you have on your small block Ford Mustang? So this is a 28 ounce. So it's a 331 stroker. So it's 28 ounce external balance. I don't know exactly which one. I bought one of the ones that LMR has on their website. I don't remember which brand it was, but it was basically just their 28 ounce balancer. And it's not the one. I don't think there's a rubber thing in the middle of it. I think it's just a solid steel. What's up, Donnie B? Funky. I think Funky probably left if he's doing a live. My man, definitely your son. I told you. I kind of figured that was coming out too. Because, to be quite honest, when I was buying parts and I was like, we could probably get a mother thumper cam, something really choppy. But the fact is, the 454s didn't really have very high compression ratios. They were pretty low, 8.5 to 1, I think. And to do some of these more choppy cams, you had to have 9.5 to 1, I think 10 to 1 they wanted. And then I was like, ooh, let me do some dome pistons. And then I was like, wait a minute. We're not going to have, Aiden driving around in the damn 10.5 to 1 compression big block, when he's just getting his license. So we kept it pretty low compression, but, it's got that little RV cam will help it, give it a little boost in power. Plus, I would like to even use it, when he's not using it to tow this thing around. Psy 210, what's up? Robert said mine is a solid steel balancer. Yeah, Rob, I think that's what mine is too. Like I said, I don't remember what brand. I think LMR's really only got 2 or 3 of them up. You know, it's one of the ones that they have. 89 GT50, what is happening? You guys have any Terminator X specific questions for anybody who just popped in? I do have. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. I do have the ability to share, you know, some Terminator X stuff on my laptop. So if you guys want to see any of that stuff, you know, we can go through. I could show you how to build something. If it's like, hey, how do I build X, Y, or Z? I could easily do that. Just feel free to drop that in the comments, and then we can go through that. I have no problem doing that. He said, check. Or is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I was Googling it.
Easy.
Daddy, why did you talk to your video?
Because. Go inside.
I'm question. Can I watch you?
No. You guys go inside. Now the whole clan's trying to come out. Dang kids. Dan Conlon, what's up, man? Good to see you in here. I forgot you guys. Yeah, I've been doing it. I've been like trying to do it every, you know, Saturday or so, but I mean, life gets in the way, work, all that stuff. So glad we got. Like I said, this was kind of a spur of the moment thing. I just I asked John on the way home, like, hey, you want to do a live? And he was like, okay. I don't know if you remember our conversation about the F-body Camaros and Foxbodies, but I think I'm going to go F-body Camaro. Nice. I enjoyed the F-body that I built. They're great platforms. I honestly think I think they're sleek looking cars. I know they call them catfishes and stuff, but I really like that. What do you think about the F-body?
I really like it. Wasn't it a bit hard to move around in there?
Yeah, so that was, and I think Psy 210, I think I told you that last time. The engine is set back really far in the firewall on those. So if you pull the engine, you can do it out of the top, but it's pretty difficult. We lifted the whole car up and then took the engine out from the bottom in the driveway with no lift. And it was not, they actually flagged the videos on YouTube and said it was like dangerous content. And I had to like tell them, no, it wasn't. And then they let me, you know, publish the video again. But yeah, I love the F-body. What's your plan, Sai? What's your plan for your F-body? Great content, brother. I thought you guys were brothers. Yeah, we probably could pass. Maybe if you were maybe a couple years. Hopefully, I still look younger than I really am. You know, I'll just keep dyeing my hair black. I don't dye my hair, but it's a family affair. Yeah, they were all trying to come out here, and oof, nope, not happening. You ever built a nitrous Fox? I have not. I was actually going to do nitrous on this. I wasn't going to do turbo. I was going to stay nitrous, or I was going to go nitrous, I should say. But I didn't want to be changing spark plugs all the time. That's the only reason why I didn't go nitrous. How did the Reptile turn out? So Dan, yeah, the Reptile turned out. I fixed it. It was the belt tensioner broke, plus the belt tore up. So we fixed that, got the car back to the guy. I still have the HP tuners for it. So I was, you know, I popped on the HP tuners. I didn't touch the tune at all. I was just, you know, looking at all the data to make sure everything was, you know, straight and whatnot. And car pulls really well. And like I said, I'm glad the car came back, but I'm kind of happy I don't have that car anymore, just because I enjoy more what I'm doing now. 5.3 swap and eventually keep building up to a race car. Yeah, and there is a lot of aftermarket out there for the F body. I mean, and that's what ours was, actually a 5.3 block, but it was bored to a 5.7. So we were able to use the 5.7. Well, we got all new stuff anyway, but But yeah, there's a huge aftermarket, and those cars perform. I mean, you look at what cars are out there on the drag strip, it's Fox bodies and F bodies. Like those are the ones that are out there just putting in work. That Lightning though, yeah, I told you guys, I don't got giveaways, but I got a free fireworks show. That Southern Heat Lightning. What advice for learning to tune? So when I started learning how to tune, because I taught myself, right? I did not go to any schools. I don't have this experience from work or anything. What I would say is really research on one, understanding volumetric efficiency, understanding timing, and also understanding like what air fuel ratios you should have with whatever types of fuels you're supposed to have. So say you're going to run on gas, what air fuels you should have, wide open throttle, basically 12.9, 12.8, 12.5 actually is safer. But I'd say just research overall what makes an engine run, right? And it's just like, I mean, back in the day, the comment that kind of makes me giggle is when people are like, oh, I can work on old stuff, carburetors and stuff, but I can't work on this stuff. And I used to be one of those guys. Like I didn't know anything about any of this. But in reality, like, it's like Back to the Future 3, the internal combustion engine is always run on gasoline. It really all runs the same, except now you're just doing it on a computer. So that's what I would say. Just research a lot about those things, target air fuel ratios, what volumetric efficiency is. And then there's a lot of data out there. Look over some spark tables, look over some fuel tables, stuff that's proven to get you close. The other thing I'll say is just because a tune works in somebody else's car, even if they have part for part the same exact things you do, it's not always going to work for you. There's even a lot of tuners out there that'll charge you money and they'll just slap in whatever tune was in somebody else's car. And then when you look at like your learn tables and stuff, you're correcting 30%, and in reality, you're leaving power on the table there. Yeah, the car is going to run because the computer is going to do all the work, but you'd really want to learn how to get it all dialed in, closer to where you're not correcting that much. Did that answer your question? 3 Boys brakes. I have a 90 hatch. What would you do? Coyote 6R80 or 351 C4? If I had the bank for that, I would do Coyote 6R80. I love the Coyote 6R80, obviously badass transmission. At the same time, though, I mean, a 351 with a C4. I mean, this is a 331 with a C4. Yeah, I'd go Coyote 6R80, but there's zero wrong with a 351 and a C4. Yeah, John, can you tell her to go back in? Thoughts on a 351 Windsor? Yeah, I love the 351 Windsor. I would love to build like a 410 or 427 out of a 351 Windsor. And they hold a lot more they're able to hold a lot more horsepower than, like this 8.2 deck. I wish I had Terminator questions, but I don't have mine yet. Hey, when you do, Robert, just let me know. John Doe, I'm out. Hey, man, thanks for stopping in. These days, I see a ton of 392 Chargers at the track. Yeah, and I mean, the new cars, a lot of people buy them, bring them down there. Those cars, they run pretty well. Those 8 speeds they had in them, I remember when they first came out with them too. They would shift so quick, like for a car that you just bought off the showroom floor. What's your favorite diesel engine? So my favorite diesel engine is actually a Caterpillar 3612, which you will not find anywhere but in a large generator, like industrial strength generator, or like we had them on our tugboats. They were 12-cylinder, 3600 series Caterpillar twin turbo, made about maybe 5,000 or 6,000 horsepower. You could pull we used to pull individual cylinders out of them. Each head was its own individual head. we had to use, no, the EMD had torque multiplier. We had a hydraulic press where, I mean, the stud to hold the cylinder heads down, we would actually have to jack up on it with a hydraulic press, and it would stretch the bolt, and then you could take the head bolts off. Same thing when you put it back on, you would actually have to stretch the bolt, and then it had flats, and you would basically turn it a couple flats and then release the hydraulic pressure, and it would, torque your head down. That was my favorite engine to work on. You could also like open the side cover and crawl into the engine if you wanted to.
I guess some medicine.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go give it to her.
I already give it to her.
Oh.
Give it to her.
What's your favorite diesel engine, John?
I like the 12 valve Cummins.
12 valve Cummins?
Well, you can see me.
Go inside, crazy. 12 valve Cummins. What was the 12 valve Cummins in?
3rd gen Ram.
So the new ones that are on there? Or is that the one before this?
No, in the 80s.
In the
I
80s?
believe in the 80s, right?
Wasn't that the first gen?
1st gen.
Anyone in here Cummins guy? He likes the 12 valve Cummins.
I don't know. My friend's Ram guy. I don't know. I just like the diesel.
There you go. Yeah, I've worked on a ton of diesel stuff. Most of it was medium speed industrial marine diesels. Seems to be a built 351 and a Coyote are about the same cost. I mean, at that rate, I would honestly go Coyote. It also depends on what you're going to do with the car. If you're going to daily drive it, I mean, the Coyote, I know really nobody cares about fuel mileage, but they actually do get very good fuel economy. Yeah, I mean, for right there, even your reliability and stuff, I would go Coyote if it was me. We got them on our gas compressors. Are you talking about the David? Are you talking about the 3612 Caterpillars? So the 351, as that is what we are planning on putting in a Foxbody. Do you have a recommendation on the transmission? I mean, C4, C6, man, C4. I mean, it's 3-speed, but I don't know. I really only have ever gone from either a T5 to this C4. I've never messed with like the 470 or 4R70W, whatever that was. So I can't, if it was me with a 351, I mean, I would probably even maybe like a turbo 400 with a small block Ford bell housing on it would actually be pretty good, but that's still 3-speed. Again, it depends on what you're going to do with it. For drag racing, I'd go with some sort of a 3-speed C4 or something like that. Plan on going automatic with F-body and thinking 4L80E thoughts. Yeah, so I had a 4L60E, and I would say if you can get a 4L80E, grab the 4L80E because it's much stronger. I rebuilt the 4L60E on my Camaro. The clutches were tore up, like 4th gear, I think, which they're known for. But yeah, that's the way I would go. 4L80E, you could put some power to that. That's a good platform to build off of for your 5.3 stuff. That's the way to go. 4L60E, stay away from it. If you got it, just get rid of it. You have a factory block or dart block? This is a stock block. The stock block that came in the car, it probably had every bit of probably 250,000 miles on it. I pulled it out, had it, board 30 over, and then we had it, clearanced for the longer connecting rods for the 331 stroker. So yeah, this is a stock factory 250,000 mile block. Not bad. Just picked up a Ford 6.4, but when it pops, I'll be going to 12 valve. What are you? Oh, the truck's a Ford 6.4 liter. Is that what you're saying, Boost Streamer? 12 valve. Here we go, John. 12 valve was 2nd gen, 96, 97, 98. I don't know if they were 1st gens. My buddy has a really nice 1st gen. He bought it dually. He put a steel flatbed on it, and then he redid the whole truck. Beautiful truck. I keep telling him, when's he going to sell it to me? What are your thoughts on E85? I added an E85 I added an E85 kit on my 2017 Camaro SS, but the closest station about 30 miles away is E85 available near you guys. So Dan, we have one station of the 85. It's probably close to 20 miles away. Maybe actually it might be 30 miles away. I love it for this, but even this, I have it set up in Holley, which I can show you that really quick. I have it set up in here to actually run. It's basically set up as flex fuel. So right here. So basically, if you look down here, the ethanol content that it has, whatever my flex fuel sensor shows, it'll just multiply the fuel by these amounts right here. And then I have another table that's for my timing and stuff like that too. So, I mean, as far as E85, I love it because the car makes a lot more power on the same levels of boost. But yeah, not having it local is, it's kind of rough. But I mean, for me, driving 30 minutes, I think since I've switched to E85, I might have bought in 10 gallons maximum. So it's not too bad. David. Okay. Yes, sir. So nice. You get to work on those engines at all, Dave? The Cat 3612s. We had them on they were called ATBs, articulated tug-to-barge tugboats. They were I love the way those things sound. Those 3612s. And then when you get them under a load, we would take them out for sea trials and basically just push up against the dock and go full bore on them. And man, something about the Caterpillar diesels, when they tip into those throttles, those cats, they got that like really loud, deep, crunchy sound. And I just love that. Plus then those turbos get going, and they were huge turbos on this thing. I mean, massive. The EMDs, I think, were the only ones that had bigger turbos on what I worked on. And they actually had a low-speed clutch on that turbo until the RPM would raise up. The turbo would overrun the clutch, and then you'd be able to make boost.
Aren't you able to buy ethanol online?
You could I don't think you could buy ethanol online. I think you'd have to go to a dealer. So, I think one of these race shops in town. I know that's where they get alcohol and methanol and all that stuff. The pump here, though, Dan, what's the E85 content at the one by you? The one over here, what are we seeing? About 70. I'm still at about 75% ethanol content, which I think is actually good for the pump, especially since the pump said it would have as low as E50. Okay, Nick B said, so they are in second and first gen Dodges, so the 12 in second and first gen. Friend of mine has she has a new Cummins truck, 3500 dually, which is a really nice truck. Coyote 5.04 plan on going twin turbo after, but will be 80% street, 20% track. Thanks for okay. Love the vids. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean for the street, yeah, you'd want to go with something that's a little more, street friendly. How high do you rev RPM your Mustang when drag racing? So right now I keep it about 5,800. It depends. Sometimes I'll shift at 54 to 5,500 depending upon what I'm doing. I like to go 58 to 6,000. And that's the thing. Like a lot of people jump on my videos and they're like, Tussin's fail TD goes like 2/10 slower than you. Why is and it's like, hell, that Rodney, I've been following that guy since he's had like 30 subscribers. His stuff is, I love watching his stuff. He's like an idol to me, especially how he shifts that car. But I am really what's holding my car back from running as fast or faster, really. I'm keeping the RPM low. I've got the timing pretty low. I've got the air fuel tables pretty conservative. So like when people see that, like, okay, I'm running I run a 630 on 630s right now. The car can definitely go faster. I'm just not pushing it. Whereas a guy like Tussin, he's going like 6,800 RPM. I mean, he's really revving these things out. I'm not ready to blow this thing sky high yet. When I am, we'll go ahead and let it rip. But I'm trying to have as much fun and push it little by little as much as I can. So yeah, to answer your question in short, 5,800 RPM. Go Army. Yep. Sync Navy. That'll be for the Army Navy game. Yeah, it's a 2010 F350 6.4 liter. Nice. Engine is not the best from the factory. Yeah, I feel like that was a weird time for Ford. I feel like around, that late 2000s into maybe 2013 or 14. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, John, I can't see the screen.
My daughter's crazy. All the kids are crazy. All right, let's see what else we got here. What precautions do you take to prevent the block from splitting in half? So that's really all I do is just keep the timings pretty low. Not pretty low. I mean, I get a little, I kind of get a little bit spicy with it, but I keep it relatively low. And then I keep the air fuels on the richer side because you figure when it's richer, it'll kind of help the engine stay a little bit cooler. Go inside. And then I also keep the RPM down. So really that's kind of what I've been doing, and it's been working. Plus I have the boost pretty low. I've really only gone over 10 pounds a handful of times. I've talked to a lot of guys who actually say that these things will live at higher boost levels, who have already gone 560s on 8.2 stock blocks. So, I'm confident that I can push it harder, but I'm just really waiting to. So what do you think causes the dreaded block split? What I would say is one, harmonics, right? I think a neutral balance is the way to go. We have 28-ounce balance here. But two, I think it's timing. And I've talked to a lot of people who have said that it's timing. The guy, Joey from Ugly Kid Racing, he's the stock block record holder, and that was what he told me. He's like, it's timing. These guys get really spicy with the timing, and timing, high RPM, harmonics, it just tears these things. It splits them in half. So, I mean, I want to say he's gone like 511 on a stock block, and I think he's gone 560s on stock bottom end. And he does nitrous stuff, and he revs them out to like 7,500 RPM. So, that's what he says, and he's had these things to live for a very long time, so I believe him. And that's kind of why I keep my timing more on the conservative side. Plus, even when I was on the dyno with Josh, when I was putting timing into it, we actually took timing out and it picked up horsepower. When I put the timing back in and it was up top, it gained 1 horsepower. So at that point, what's the sense of throwing that timing in? Just keep it out. It'll be a little safer, and I'm cool with that, not having that 1 horsepower. I don't have an indicator, but I know the Camaro makes more power on it. I'm guessing 20-30 more. Yeah, and Dan, to be honest, really anything on E85, you're going to make more power. I think Neo Mustang said it equates to about 105 octane. I mean, it's oxygenated. It's even with this, I mean, I felt the power difference right away. You figure I was running the same numbers on 6, 7, 8 pounds than I was on 13 pounds with gas. What do you like better, 1/8 or quarter mile? I plan on doing a lot with the F-body. To be honest, when I was younger, I really liked quarter mile, and I was like quarter mile or nothing. As I got older, and then even down here, we have a few quarter mile tracks, but we really only have 1/8 mile. I have grown to love 1/8 mile because it's really tough to improve at. You have to really, think of it as like what you improve in the 1/8 mile, it like doubles or triples on the back end of a quarter mile. So it's really tough to knock tenths off in the 1/8 mile as opposed to the quarter mile. And that's really what I've grown to enjoy about the 1/8 mile. I mean, it's a really good challenge. And then plus 2, it's not as taxing on the car. I'm only running the car for 5, 6, or 6, not 5 yet. 6, 6.5, 7 seconds. So it's better than, running this thing full bore for between 9 and 11 seconds or whatever it is. Anyone else just get the Turbo John notification? Yeah, well, I didn't get the notification, but I saw his little tow rig that he got. I haven't watched that video yet though, but I saw the picture. I mean, it looked like a nice car or truck. I mean, you still have the blue S550 Gen 3. No, I got rid of that. When was that? Last year and a half ago, maybe year and some. Yeah, a little over a year ago. I needed the truck, the F250. For like a side business that I'm doing. So that's why, I had to give up the Camaro to get the house, and then I had to give up the S550 to get the truck. But I'm pretty happy with doing what I'm doing now. Having the truck, having the capability to move whatever I want, and then tinkering with this thing and making it go as fast as possible, and breaking it and then not having to worry about it. How much power do you think your car is making now? So I did like the little horsepower calculator thing based off of the weight of my car with me in it, which was 2954. Well, then the cage was, so I think I put in 3150, and then the time plus a mile an hour, and it came out to 591 wheel. But we'll find out here soon. I texted Josh the other day. He said when he's back in town, we can throw this thing on the dyno. Right now, we're gonna fix the exhaust. We had an exhaust leak, like Funky 50 had his exhaust leak. So we're gonna fix that tomorrow, and then we actually might go racing tomorrow too. You see him light up? He was like, "Oh yeah." The kid's been wanting to go. We've had this kind of weather, so we haven't been able to go racing. But we're probably gonna go racing tomorrow. But yeah, we'll have a dyno video on E85 with this Boxar upper. I'm hoping to get 600 wheel, but I don't know. To be honest, I'm happy with like 550. At least I don't want to blow it up on the dyno. I'd rather push it at the track. So, if we're on the dyno and I see 550, I'd probably call it a day right there. Thanks again. I appreciate you and your channel. God bless you and your family. I have a boy who says he's going to be a drag racer. Shout out to Lane Hot Rod. Oh, nice. That is awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And I hope your boy turns out to be a drag racer. Follow that dream. I tell him all the time, he's young enough, he can do whatever he wants. He's going to be a race car driver, fighter pilot, whatever it is. Let people laugh at you. You go out and chase it. I'm sure people laughed at, Dale Earnhardt and whoever else, and they just went out and did it. With your current times, could you break the 9s in the quarter mile? Absolutely. I guarantee you, if I took this thing to Rockingham tomorrow, it would go, I think it'd probably go 980. I would put money on the table that it would go 980, to be quite honest. And it would probably go faster than that. Got to run, boys. Great hanging with you. Thanks for the info. Keep up the great content. I'm glad to see the next generation evolve. Thanks for stopping in, Dan. And thank you for the continued support. You've been sticking around supporting this channel for a long time, so we really appreciate it. So we got about 22, 21 people here. Again, if anyone has Terminator X stuff, questions, I do have the ability to pull it up on the screen here. And like I said, I can walk you through anything. How to set stuff up, questions, idle air control stuff, advanced tables, 1D or 2D, whatever questions you may have. Is this my old one? Oh yeah, this is the one. This is the one I just added all that percentage to. This fuel table too. This fuel table is still a little rough. What I ended up doing, can you close that door? Door's open. What I ended up doing with the new injectors, when I fired it up, the learn table shot up to like 25% pretty quick. So I took the whole table and added 20%, and I'm going to tune off of this. So this is my base table right here. And I think with the Boxar intake change also, the volumetric efficiency and stuff changed. So this will be the base table that I start tuning off of. And like I said, I always turn off the like the closed loop and all that stuff. So I like to try and tune it natural, get it close, and then I'll turn that stuff on and let it do its let it do its correcting. Okay. Oh, we got a few more comments here. As far as timing goes, do you pull more in the mid range near torque peak, then add it back in up top? So I can actually go to it right here. I always have timing basically step up to max peak torque peak torque range. So I don't know if I'm hoping you guys can see that. But so I make peak torque at about 5,300 RPM. So if you look right here, about 5,250, that's kind of when I kind of, like run all the timing in. So, and then I obviously decrease as boost level goes up, but pretty much from 50, as it hits 5,300 max torque, that's when it'll start ramping and like all the timing. I could probably even have the timing come in full maybe at 55, but I've been pretty good with this right here. So no, I don't ramp it down and then back up. I just kind of have it slowly work its way up, and then at 55, 5,250, it all comes in. And I've been messing with the idle on these. With this, I've actually got my idle. These injectors are able to let me idle this car much smoother. I had a really hard time getting the idle below 1,000. And then once I switched to this injector, and then with this timing, it actually chops really nice at idle, and I'm able to idle at like 780, 800, really smooth. So that's one benefit to these Holley Terminator X injectors. But it just, for some reason, it takes 11 degrees as opposed to, I used to run about 18 at idle on the previous injectors. And then when I would step down to 11, it would just get really unstable. Jacob Henry said, I like watching your channel. I got a Foxbody 351 Windsor stock bottom heads cam intake with a Terminator X S480 turbo. Nice. That's one of those VS racing ones, right? Once it's together, I'm definitely going to have questions. Absolutely. I will share what I learned. And yeah, like this is all stuff I learned either off the forums, watching other guys. I watched a lot of LS stuff because that's what this Holley Terminator stuff was based around. So, negative a T1000. I forgot what we were talking about, or maybe he's referring to somebody else. Okay, we have seen that already. Could you notionally do static timing and reference timing? Okay, so, yep, let me go back really quick. And I think we were just talking about this the other day. So your reference timing, right? If you look in here, right? So mine's at 12. This is essentially when the timing adjustments, everything gets made in the system based off of this reference mark. So the engine thinks, or the computer thinks the engine is at 12 degrees, and then it will make the adjustments off of that. So in theory, if you think about it that way, right? So it's referencing 12. When I am commanding, say, 11 at idle right here, the computer would essentially be taking one out from where it normally thinks it is, or where it thinks it is. And then even right here, right, cruise or deceleration, it's putting 41 in it. It would basically be putting 30 on top of that 11 or 12 or 29, I guess. So the reference angle is basically where the computer thinks the car timing is at. But now the static timing, this is really important because if your static timing is not set, your reference could be entirely wrong. And then, I got to be hooked up to actually do it, so I can't do it right here. But so your static timing, what you would do with that, when you would click in here, this little box right here would drop down and say static timing. You click enable static timing. I usually type in either 10 or 20. And so what that's going to do is that computer is going to say, here is where I think 10 degrees is, right? And then so when it's commanding, the computer's commanding your 10 degrees and it thinks it's at 10 degrees. If it's not at that 10 degrees, right, say you're at 12 or 8 or 6 or whatever, that means this reference angle, you're referencing the wrong spot, right? So you can do it to where you just change the reference angle. I don't like that. What I like to do is if I have right here, right, I just set it at 12 because, 10, 12, you could realistically set this to whatever. I would either use 8, 10, or 12. But so what I do is I set it to 12, but then I still do my static timing check. I punch in 10, When I look at the balancer, if I don't see 10, if it's 12, I lower the timing till I see 10. If it's 8, I raise it till I see 10, and then I lock it down. And then this inductive delay, what you actually have to do is rev the engine up slowly. And then if your timing starts to bleed off, that's where you have to adjust this inductive delay. Donnie B has an outstanding video on this. And I sent it to Boost Streamer the other day because I think he was kind of confused about it. But this is like, before you mess with any of this stuff, you have to set that static timing, and then make sure your reference angle is set. But is that a good enough explanation for you? I guess like loose, like you said, notionally. 480 should be okay. Yeah, I actually don't even really know that much about like the turbo stuff. I mean, as far as like what's what, T4, T6, whatever. Even like the housing sizes, like .70, .96, .80, whatever it is. I'll be I don't have the knowledge about that. Jacob Henry got a YouTube channel. Sounds like a cool car to see. That does sound like a cool car. 351 with a turbo, heads cam. That thing will fly. The right suspension setup. Tim Webb said, I set static timing and head out front with the timing light when I have someone to raise the RPMs. Yeah, I usually what I'll do is I'll drag the laptop out and then click the static timing thing, and then I just use my thumb on the throttle body. Just where the S480 is a Borg Warner. There we go. Around 1,000 horsepower. I don't think this will ever make it to 1,000. This won't. The engine, I mean. The car maybe, not the engine. Notice the difference between swapping out those trick flow intakes. I don't know yet. We got the car running. What did we run it for? Not even 15 minutes, and blew the exhaust gasket out. Not even, the RTV. So I didn't get really a chance to mess with it yet. I did notice the volumetric efficiency is way different. So I feel like it's a more efficient setup, basically. So I'm really anxious to see how much better it is. And really what I'm going to try and do is, so we're going to try and go racing tomorrow. I'm going to upload the same exact tune that I ran 637 on and see what it does. I'll probably have to make some fueling. I threw 20% in the fuel table. That should be enough for it to at least correct it and get us close. But I'm curious to see what difference it makes. What rear end is currently on the Fox? So it's a stock housing 8.8, SN95 axles, and it is a 331 gear. I would like to do at some point like a spool. And then some. I definitely need to. It's someone actually, I think, even commented time to start stepping up the rear as far as axles and stuff. Because, I mean, granted, I did a 140 60 foot, 140 with a 4, but I'm still on that 28 spline, just SN95 half shaft, and I don't know how much longer they'll live. Is your turbo system customer kit? It's just an On3 turbo kit for the 5.0. And then I just ordered the 76 millimeter upgrade. So I'm going to run with this and see how far it'll take me. I think from here, I'm going to go to the 78, 75 millimeter. But I figure for now, I mean, it was cheap and it's working so far. So we'll just roll with it. Eventually, my plans for this car is to go, small block Ford 427, custom built turbo, maybe like a front mounted turbo, but that's a long way from now. Tony Reiners has a YouTube channel with a 351 S480 build. He's now a twin turbo build. Is my 7875 good for 700? I don't know. I'd say there's only one way to find out. I would think it is. I mean, 75 is a bigger back housing than this. I would say, yeah. I think you could get there on it. That's my guess. crank horsepower, I would say yes, because I would say crank horsepower on this is definitely up in the 6s. That's great, man. They recommend your old intake over the box for my street turbo 351 Windsor Holley HP. So really? Because everything I've read shows that this box R flows way more than the old one. And I watch a lot of Richard Holdner. Richard Holdner did a lot of tests with the box R and then even the regular R series. And the regular R series that I had always died off maybe 300-400 RPM before the box R. And like I said, just based off of initial fire the car up, look at the base fuel, and it looks like it's flowing much more air now than it was before. So either I got a leak somewhere and it's sucking in air from something, or it's just more efficient. I mean, plus the long straight runner too. That's going to be better for at least top end anyway. I'm gonna head out for the night. Good luck with the exhaust. Good night. Hey, thanks for stopping in again, Cy, and definitely keep me updated on the F body. Actually, yeah, we've been at it for what, about an hour now? You ready to head out?
Yeah, we'll go for a bit longer, right?
All right. If anyone's got any final questions, we'll hang out and answer them. If not, we'll probably check out for the night. Pretty good live stream. We had about 20 some odd people at one point. My first one I did, I had like 30 something. It was a really good live stream actually. And then the second one I messed it up, and then I lost sound on the other. I'm not good at this. I can see the other intake being better off for street use. Yeah, and I think it's much better for that low end torque. It's got those really long runners, which is great for low end torque. And I think, yeah, as far as street, if you're going to build some sort of mostly street car, that's where you're going to be in RPM anyways, is down around that, between 3,000 to 5,000 RPM range. So that's the one to get, I would say. David Willis, later, Dan. Have a good week. You all have fun this weekend. Thanks for stopping in, David. Hope you guys have a good weekend too. Tim, Richard recommended your old one for the street-driven car, and so did Trick Flow when we went over the specs. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. For the street-driven, I don't drive this on the street. We just basically track it. So that even just the design, you can tell how long that other runner is. And, everything Engine Masters I've seen, long straight runners make a lot more top-end power, kill low-end torque, whereas those long runners kill it on low end torque. I mean, they usually do okay on top end, but they die off after a little while. I still think valve train instability is why I'm getting such a harsh, because the power really dips off at around 5,800, like hard. So I think it's valve train instability. I think a set of springs would wake this thing up, but we'll see. Boost Streamer heading out, dude. I'll keep you posted for sure. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for stopping in, man. Yeah, definitely keep me posted. Between the Holley ECU and all this work you put in last year, I think you have an amazing channel, boss. Hey, I really appreciate that. I love doing the Holley stuff. It's really awesome that it's very user friendly as far as like for the novice tuner. Because I knew literally nothing about it when I started. Whereas like the HP tuners, when I had the green Camaro here, I just was kind of going through it to see the differences, and it is worlds different than what Holley simplified it so much in their software. It's super enjoyable. But anyway, guys, I think we're going to head out for the night. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. Really appreciate everyone stopping in, the continued support for the channel, the questions. Love talking shop, love talking about cars and Holley and Foxbodies and all that stuff. So, again, just really want to thank everyone for stopping in. We're going to go racing tomorrow, pending the weather, and then getting this fixed, which this will be easy. We just got to put that back on. And we'll have some more videos come out. We'll have John's 454 build, a 13-year-old engine builder, and then more of the racing content too. So, actually, did I film? No, I didn't film today. So, Ford Blue Gauge, regular guy, what's up? Just checking in to drop a thumbs up. I injured my back, so I'm not personal. Oh, man. Well, I hope you feel better. I know what it's like to have back injuries, and they are not fun. So, Ford Blue Gauge, thanks for stopping in, and I hope you feel better, buddy. Just recently found your channel, and you are doing a lot of things that I plan on doing in my car over time. I'm currently building a 94 SN95 347 stroker Holley High Ram Terminator X Street Strip. Great channel. Dylan Carrier, thanks a lot. Really appreciate that. I love the SN95 5.0s, and that sounds like a badass car. Let me know how that Holley High Ram is. I was looking at the Holley High Ram over this, and I opted for this one instead, just because I needed the upper instead of the whole intake. Sepulus, oh man, I can't even talk. A set of springs and a couple more pounds of boost. Keep the RPMs down. That's Arturo. That's really where I'm at. I think, to be quite honest, the next thing that I will do to this car, if I take this down the track again and at 5,800 RPM, the power dies off, buying a set of springs. There you go, John. Keep learning, young man. Very impressed and can't wait to see you build a 454. It better start. Nah, it'll start. I have full confidence in him. That's why I told him this is his build, because I know he can absolutely do it. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it. We're going to head out for real this time. Again, thanks for stopping in. Be on the lookout for new videos coming out probably later this week. So I hope everyone has a good weekend. Take care, and we will see you guys on the next video.